Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. So I've been getting pinged a lot about this article from The Verge, and admittedly it's a sentiment that I'm kind of reading in a lot of different places. And it is about the Apple self-service repair program and the tools that they are making available as a part of this program. Now, what people are saying is to replace a 0.1 or 2 ounce or whatever battery, you have to get this 79-pound suitcase. Isn't it ridiculous that they made all the tools available so that you could do it the same way they did? And it's just so missing the point, and the fact that this is getting reported by so many others, not just The Verge, is part of the problem with tech journalism in general, is that you don't have your eye on the ball. You're focusing on the things that are easy rather than focusing on the things that matter. So, why does this aggravate me? Why is this worthy of a rant? So, Apple released a program where you can get access to not just screens and batteries, but you could get access to the specific tools that Apple uses to put that in the phone. Now, they have specific tools for this because now that the phones are more liquid resistant, they're held together with adhesive, so it can be difficult to get the screen off without breaking it. It can be difficult to reapply the liquid resistant adhesive. So they have made available the exact tools that they use. These are tools that will allow somebody who is a complete moron to be able to do the job, which is a good thing. Successful businesses make it so that you can have somebody who is, pretty much a 16-year-old stoner be able to produce consistent results. That is what companies like McDonald's do, and that's why they make billions of dollars. They allow pretty much, it's a business that's run by, for the most part, stone 16-year-olds and college dropouts or high school dropouts that are able to produce a consistent level of quality. So they have tools that allow you to do that, and they make those tools available. Now, here's the thing. Everybody's saying, look at how ridiculous this tool is. Look at how big and unwieldy this tool is. Look at the fact that they have an 80-page manual on how this works. And here's the thing that I'm missing. I'm missing the part where you're required to get that tool in order to order a battery from Apple. I missed the part where you're required to order that tool in order to get a screen from Apple. Hint, you're not. You can buy the battery, you can buy the screen, regardless of whether you bought their seemingly overly complicated OCD tool. If you want a perfect job, you can rent their tool or you can buy it to have the option to be able to have a tool that allows you to get that factory finish and seal. If you're somebody who doesn't really care, you can watch a YouTube video, you can go online, you can buy a spudger for $3 and use that to take your screen off. Instead of buying their liquid resistant adhesive, you could buy, let's say, a $1 or $3 set from eBay, and then you can apply it. Instead of using their expensive, heavy machine, you can apply it using your fingertips, which is what most people are going to do. They are simply giving you the option to use what it is that they use. And rather than focus on what should be focused on, which is the 99% of the other parts, tools, diagrams, schematics, chips, LCDs, keyboards, etc., that this program does not make available, the tech press chooses to bitch about the fact that they did make things available that are the exact same tools that Apple uses. My God. But again, this is what you can expect from an article where the person writing the article says, and I'm not kidding, you can go back and read it. Oh, they didn't even give me a tool to be able to tell if the battery in the screen was properly plugged in, so when I closed it and it didn't turn on properly, I was afraid. You know what you're supposed to use is a tool that's between your fucking ears. It's called your brain. When you plug a new component in, before you screw the device back together, you turn it on to make sure that shit works. I don't close a MacBook before I test the fucking board that I fixed actually works. That's why we try to check if we have fan spin outside the computer. And when you're replacing an iPhone screen, I am not resealing and readhesing the entire thing before I turn it on, before I close it, to make sure the screen I got actually works. They're actually complaining that you don't have a tool to tell if the thing that you plugged in works because they lack the common sense to turn it on before closing it. But this is what we expect from a place that did the Verge's PC build. You see, there's an area where your eyes should be on the ball. That is not bitching about the fact that they have made available the exact same OEM parts and tools that they use with the option to not do it their way. What would make sense is to focus on what they didn't make available. They didn't make available a charge port to an iPhone. This is something that tends to die, and when it does, your phone's dead and you can't charge it. They did not make available a power button, which, when your power button dies, your phone doesn't turn on anymore. They did not make available schematics or diagrams so that people like me that do board repair and data recovery can continue doing our job without pirating shit from China. They did not make available regardless of whether you become authorized, certified, or through the IRP program. MacBook keyboards without the top case. You can replace a keyboard economically instead of an entire top case. They did not make available $70 to $100 LCD cells by themselves, so that when your screen breaks, I'm not required to replace a $500 or $600 display assembly that costs 6 times as much when your existing display assembly and housing are just fine. They are not making available MacBook schematics, parts, chips, so that when you plug in your charger and your charger fries your board, instead of replacing the board at $1,500, I can replace a $4 to $15 chip, but I can't because Intersil and Texas Instruments won't sell it to me because Apple doesn't let them. Instead of focusing on all of the things, how are you? Nice to meet you. Rather than focus on everything that is not available, you choose to focus on what is available, is 100% OEM, affordably priced, and bitch about it. And here's the thing, this is what this is going to do. This is going to wind up creating one of those culture wars where a bunch of people look at what the tech press is saying and they go, look, Apple gave them what they asked for, and when they got exactly what they asked for, they weren't happy and they complained. So those right to repair people are idiots. You see, all of the people who are complaining not about what is not available, but complaining about what is available and 100% identical to what you have in an Apple authorized service provider or a Genius Bar, they are making the right to repair people look like morons. They make us look like fools, and it is important to make sure that it is known that they don't represent us. These people are not representative of normal repair shops. They're not representative of the average user. The average user does not complain that Apple made a tool available. The average user is going to go on eBay, buy a spudger for $3, and use that to take his stuff apart rather than get a 79-pound Pelican tool case. There are people that do care about having a factory fit, perfect finish that will maybe use those tools. And that is absolutely fine. There are people that are afraid that they won't tighten the screw enough, or that they'll tighten it too hard, that rather than use common sense to figure out where they should finish it, that they will use the toolkit that they rent from Apple that has the little torque wrenches and everything else. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with using a torque wrench if you're working on a truck or something. I just kind of think it's weird for a phone, but whatever. They will use that. But it's an option. And to complain about something that is an option, rather than complain about all of the options that are missing, misses the forest for the trees, and is precisely why there is so much contempt for just the tech blogosphere that you have now in general. That's it. Rant over. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. By the way, I will not be reviewing these tools. I get asked on a regular basis. Review it to see how ridiculous. I don't care. It's an option. I know I'm never going to use those tools. I know I'm likely never going to do these things this way. I know that I don't need a freaking torque driver to tell me how hard I should be screwing a screw into an iPhone, so I don't care. This would only be relevant if Apple refused to allow your screen to work if you took it off without using their manner. If they have some sort of thing where they're watching you through the screen and they can see you did not use our tool to put the screen back in the phone, therefore True Tone doesn't work, then by all means, scream, yell, and bitch about it. I just can't believe that The Verge actually has me defending Apple. Like, that's just... I cannot believe that The Verge actually has me defending Apple. And, okay, this is interesting. The people that were yelling from the car are actually walking this way. I was kind of kidding with that whole yelling out I'm single thing, but... YOLO. Talk to you later.